Well, good morning. I'm going to do a demonstration today of how to make colloidal silver. Uh, there's claims out there that colloidal silver will cure everything. There have been people out there that drank so much every single day that they got a medical condition that causes their skin to turn blue. So I don't come with any recommendation of when and where to use this. And according to the National Institute of Health, silver is used externally in bandages to treat wounds, external infections. It's used to prevent conjunctivitis in newborns' eyes. So it kills bacteria and germs topically. Any other use of it, you would have to do your own research. Colloidal silver can have a inhibitory effect on certain medications, perhaps thyroid medicine. But if this is something that you are looking into, you need to do research to find out what items may have a inhibitory effect is that you might be prescribed. So to get on with it, the water you use, the distilled water, we're going to run electricity through some wires, and we're going to suspend two silver bars inside of this water. And by applying electricity to the silver plates, it's going to throw off some very minute particles of silver into the suspension. But pure distilled water is what you have to use. It has no tap water with chlorine or any other minerals in it. Does not conduct electricity well. So adding 5, 6, or 7 grains of plain, not iodized salt, regular salt, and stirring it into the distilled water will allow a minor part of electricity to do what it needs to do, which we'll see in just a minute. So here for the layout, you see the 3 batteries are going to be connected end to end. The terminal connector will be there, and we'll have some wires with alligator clips on the end that's going to suspend it in the water. Once it gets stored, it needs to be stored in a darkened glass container. Glass because it's not reactive, dark because it keeps the sunlight from getting in. So we'll get it hooked up and show you what happens here in a minute. All right, so we are back. We've hooked up the 3 9-volt batteries end to end, and we've made a connector on one end. The wire goes to an alligator clip down to a bar of silver, and on the other side we hooked it to a battery directly just because it'll clip easier. And this is 3 times 9 is 27. So you got 27 volts. The recommended amounts of volts somewhere between 24 to 36 volts. As far as what voltage is necessary to push the silver off of the plates. Now, as silver bars are 999 fine, so there's no impurities in it, very little. And you can see that there is electricity moving through there, and it is pushing and knocking the silver off in a state that is almost atomic, and that's what I call it colloidal. So the plates in there are about an inch to inch and a quarter apart, and you can see that on one of the electrodes it is pushing the silver, and the electricity is trying to get to the other plate. So it's falling down in there. I'll let it run probably about 15 minutes, and the solution will be cloudy. And that's it. That's all there is to it. So colloidal silver can be purchased at a health food store, and I think it's 16 ounces for somewhere between $20 to $40, depending on the concentration. So this is not a scientific exact percentage of colloidal silver. If you let it run too long, I think that the silver oxidize and it turns a black and dark gray. So the goal is that it's somewhere between a light amber to a milky white color. And, they said ingesting it, the serious thing is medication. I'm not on medication. I have ingested it before. I've never drank bottles of it, but, I'll drink maybe a couple tablespoons for personal reasons from time to time. And so when it's placed in the mouth, you can swish it around, and I guess the antibacterial or microbial properties of it will kill gingivitis, stuff like that. But, I smoke cigarettes. So after I've had some in my mouth and then I smoke a cigarette, the cigarette has an unusual sweetness taste. So it does alter a little bit the taste buds on the tongue. But that's kind of my indicator is it concentrated enough? Does it alter the taste of the cigarette? So we'll let it run for about 15 minutes, and I'll be back with you in a bit. All right, it's been about 15 minutes or so. You can see the color has changed from clear to cloudy. Part of it is because I just stirred it up a little bit. You can also see that the electrode there is turning black, and that's the electrolysis. I think you getting oxygen molecules reacting with the silver, essentially high-speed tarnishing. So if I let it run too long, bits of the silver oxide will become dislodged and darken the color of the liquid. I don't know that it has any effect, positive or negative. But on the other hand, I tasted a little bit, smoked a cigarette, not very much of a change. I would say it probably needs maybe 15 more minutes. I'll keep an eye on it. If I see the black particles flaking off, I'll stop it and come back and check it in a minute. In fact, I decided, change my mind. I'm going to take this bar out. I'm going to polish it. All I do is take a little scrub pad and scrub it so it's nice and shiny again. And then I'll put it back in the machine and let it run for a little bit longer. But I'm just going to scrub it off just with a scratch pad, running it under tap water. Then I'll dry it off and put it back on. All right, so it's probably been about 30 more minutes. I reversed the electrodes and the connections. I did also clean that other piece of silver, but that's what you got, a white, cloudy, colloidal suspension. I think you may be able to still see a trail falling off that left-hand plate. But I think we're good to go. So one thing left is to throw it in a bottle, and we'll be finished.